Even though we have easy access to clean water, the biggest threat to it is our old crumbling infrastructure. A lot of our infrastructure has been around since the 1800s, and it's starting to fall apart, which means it's now one of the biggest threats to our clean water supply. Pollution and damage to our natural water resources are putting even more strain on the system. Together, they pose a serious threat to the future of the United States.
Somalia has had the opposite problem. As a developing nation, it has struggled to maintain its very limited water supply. It relied on inconsistent rainfall to maintain its precious few water sources. 2010 marked the beginning of a terrible crisis. Falling into a horrible drought, the consequences were dire. Countless people lost their lives. When rain finally came, it was not enough, and famine followed.
2024 wasn't much better for Somalia. It's like they were trying to stop the bleeding, but nature refused to cooperate. Heading into 2025, the situation only got worse. Sporadic floods hit the country, destroying what was left of their water sources and displacing thousands of people. Entire communities lost their homes. To make matters worse, the prolonged droughts wiped out crops and livestock, making food even harder to find. It's an absolute disaster. In Somalia, nearly all major water comes from just two rivers, the Juba and the Sheba. Their flow rises and falls with the seasons, depending entirely on rainfall. With few other water sources to turn to, Somalia's survival is tied to them. Smaller streams called Togo rivers, meaning water flow, offer some help after small rains, but it's never enough. All of this brings us back to the United States, a country with far more natural water resources than Somalia, with over 100,000 lakes and more than 250,000 rivers. But even with all that, the real fear isn't running out of water. It's the aging infrastructure and growing pollution. It still creates a crisis of its own. In the US, water has countless uses, from farming to running entire industries. As a more developed nation, it makes sense that a huge amount of water goes to things like irrigation, and most of all, thermoelectric power. That's not something you'd expect in a place like Somalia. It just shows how much water we have access to, enough that we even use it to generate electricity to keep our businesses and daily lives running.
With Somalia's limited water resources, nearly all of it is used to try and grow food, whether they're raising livestock or trying to cultivate farmland. You can see the disparity between the abundance of the US and the dire limitations in Somalia.
In the United States, agricultural pollution is one of the biggest threats to our water. It's the leading cause of contamination in rivers and streams, the second biggest source in wetlands, and third in lakes. Fertilizers, pesticides, and animal waste wash off farms during rainstorms, carrying harmful chemicals into nearby water bodies. Over time, this runoff disrupts ecosystems, threatens drinking water, and harms wildlife, all while often going unseen. In Somalia, water pollution is a major problem that makes life even harder, because there are no proper sewage or waste treatment systems. Trash, human waste, and chemicals often end up in rivers and underground water. Factories dump waste, farm use fertilizers and pesticides that wash into the soil. And without any way to treat it, all of it flows into the water people and animals need to survive. This dirty water spreads disease, makes people sick. Solving the water crisis looks different in each country. In the US, investing in modern infrastructure, reducing agricultural runoff, and improving water recycling could protect supplies for the future. In Somalia, the focus is on building safe sanitation systems, improving water storage, and providing access to clean water.